What a game we have coming up here. A top 10 team perhaps walking right into a trap. As any fan of college football knows, when you go on the road, you never know what you might run into. Welcome to College Park, Maryland, SECU Stadium, better known as the Snake Pit and home of the Terps. As we'll see, the number 8 team in the country, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on a team from the Big Ten, the Maryland Terrapins. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollack with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. Alabama about to kick off to get things started. And he'll bring it back. The coverage team maintains his discipline, not much doing on that return. The Terrapins offense is on the field for the first time today. Let's take a quick second to call out some of the impact players their coaches mentioned in meetings this week. Anything you guys heard that really resonated with you?
Yeah, I love when coaches talk about guys that bring it every single day. Like, that we can depend on them. They can get other guys lined up. They're always motivated. They're always being a great teammate. These are the guys that coaches love.
And big-time players make big plays in big games, right? These are the guys that have to play well if they're going to win games like this. It'll be interesting to see what they do today.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, backed up inside their 20. Looking to throw, it's Washington. And the sack all the way back at the 5.
Man, you can't draw it up any better than that. First possession, force a third down. You want to shut the home crowd up, sack the quarterback, create some momentum. Now you're getting the football back to your offense, probably with great field position.
And the Terrapins decide to punt it away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. He gets it away from his own end zone. Fields to punt and tries to help improve that field position. Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. The Crimson Tide offense comes out, and now they'll go on the attack. And what a performance, an aerial show from this guy in the last game, and he has to have a ton of confidence coming into this one, David.
Yeah, it was a great week. And watching that tape before this game, like you could tell, man, he was seeing it quick. The ball was coming out, just touchdowns at will. A really nice day. And I think, Jesse, you take that and you start to build on it for this offense and really continue to trust him to make plays through the air.
Yeah,
there he goes.
Man, that's so frustrating. And it happens so fast. He just pulls it down. It looks like pass. He pulls it down, and he's gone. Just like that, chewing up yards. So much speed, so hard to stop.
Touchdown, Alabama! They punctuate the chance with a trip to the end zone. They get set for the point afters. We have the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And it was capped off with the 8-yard run. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. Fired that thing out in a heartbeat, but it's incomplete. Well, will they dial up on second and a long way to go? To the air, it's Washington. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
really nice play. You have to have disruptors playing on the defensive line, guys that can be versatile and line up at different positions, but create havoc in the backfield, and that's what this guy has been able to do throughout his career.
The Terrapins will call on their punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. Snagged in the middle. It's Horton. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. out of the gun. The running back has it. He breaks a tackle. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Alabama comes to the line on 3rd and short. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Finds his man. It's Miller. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. That last completion sets him up on 2nd down. The give to the back. Turning on the Jets. They get him down at the 34-yard line. Give him 15 yards on the pickup and a first down. Wide receiver going in motion. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. To throw, it's Simpson. Finds the tight end. Won't back down from anyone. Delivers the blow and gets it to the 29. The Crimson Tide needs to convert on 3rd and short. Quarterback on the keeper. He's not going to make it. What a job on this defense to stop him in his tracks. They've decided to try to go for the field goal here. He's got it. Showing off that big leg from 47 yards out.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road.
After putting 3 on the board that he can get. Not a whole lot of room to operate on that return as the coverage unit was there and ready. This drive will open from the 15. They'll send the tight end in motion. The give to the back. And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. Caught over the middle. It's Fleming. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. And the Terrapins lining up, just needing a few tough inches on 3rd down. They'll move the tight end. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down. The Terrapins come to the line with a fresh set of downs. On the ground, it's McLaurin. Nice move there.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Back to throw, it's Washington. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and 3rd down is coming. Trying to pick up a first down. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons why this team is finding themselves in a hole here in the first half is this has been a sack party. They can't keep the defense off of their quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball deep down the field, throwing it with the consistency they want because they can't keep their quarterback standing up straight.
And the Terrapins will try to pin them back with the punt. Wants to bring it back. They'll put a stop to that return at about the 37-yard line. They'll snap it from the 37 for the first play of this drive. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. They'll line up for a 2nd down play. Got it in the middle. It's Horton. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Off the play fake on first down. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. So Alabama takes the lead into the quarter break. And they jumped out to that edge early. As we wrap up the first, let's take a quick look at our game stats. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. Makes the grab on the shuffle. They'll go with a quick touch pass. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. On third and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Throwing right. He makes a catch. And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the first. Alabama will bring the punt team on the field. And the ball hits at the 3 and gets into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. He'll keep it himself. Oh, he's got some space. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he's stopped, and it'll be first down.
This is an offense that can move the sticks in a whole lot of different ways. Now you're seeing it on the option here. Great job by the quarterback.
Wide open spaces. Hey, what about that move to pick up a couple of extra yards? He's down at the 38. The Terrapins are in the hurry-up.
And you're seeing the offense now mix up the tempos. After a successful run, they're now going hurry-up.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Scanning the field, it's Washington. And the quarterback is sacked. There are penalty flags down, but this might be doubly bad for the offense. I think the penalty might be on them. So the penalty will not be enforced. The defense declines and stands on the result of the play. And the Terrapins will punt it away on fourth down. He's getting a lot of work. Fourth time he's punted tonight. Coverage team gets the job done, and they'll mark him down at the 38-yard line. From the gun, the running back has it. There was just nowhere to cut back. Great job by the defense, and he'll have to take the loss. Wants to go up top. The safe call on the wide receiver screen. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup. Alabama comes to the line on third and short. From the gun, wants to pass. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. The Crimson Tide will bring the punt team on the field. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. And they'll get him down after the return at the 27-yard line. First play of this drive comes from the 27. From the gun, the ground game. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Might as well stick with him. There he goes. They opened the lane, and he hit it a gain of 5 out to the 33. 4 punts already, and they've got to convert here to avoid a fifth. Back to throw, it's Washington. Here's the pressure. Going to try to get it himself. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop. Yet another punt on the way. Got to make sure that hamstring stays loose. He's been busy. And they'll get him down after the return at the 27-yard line. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, right? Go back to what was working earlier on in this one. And, David, to me, that starts with being the more physical team.
Oh, I definitely agree. Being the more physical team, but understanding the situation of the game. You're still winning. You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
Receiver wasn't ready for the throw. Incomplete. Alabama with a lot of ground to cover here on third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Catch in the middle, it's Bernard. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. Kick is in the air. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. First play of this drive will start from the 31-yard line. Sends it back in motion. To the air on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Smith. They get him at the 42, but he picked up 10 there. It's 1st and 10 for this offense from the 42. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. He'll do it himself. And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9. Tried to pound it on first down, now back to the line. Quick release by the QB. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker. The Terrapins come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Got it, looking for a first. They'll move the chains. Good execution on 3rd down. They've got it at the 41. And the Terrapins are on the move. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Martin back to pass. They'll run the screen. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Strong pass rush, gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46. The Terrapins send out the punt unit. And nobody able to field that punt as it rolls out of bounds. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Snags a quick pass on the left. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Pulls and fires complete to the right. Chain gang on the move. It'll be a first down at the 29. The offense quickly calls timeout to stop the clock. The analytics nerds will tell you that a 4-yard pickup on first down is a successful play. Let's see what they have on 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line? Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Caught in the backfield. It's Williams. Turning it on. They finally get to him. But what a play there to pick up the first down.
All right, defense. It ain't working, right? They're stringing together several first downs here. We're going to need to change this up, find something we can disrupt the quarterback and mess up this offense a little bit.
Alabama just did work on the ground. Let's see if they go right back to it. Off the play fake on first down. The throw. Grabbed in the middle. It's Horton. Gets it inside the 40. Brought down at the 39, and they can't stop the clock. Alabama with a 1st and 10 here. Looking to throw. It's Simpson. He's got him.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands. Get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. And here on second down, they'll send out the field goal unit to try to get 3 before the break. He slides that just inside the right upright. And now the lead is extended a little further.
And that's a nice end to this first half. Put points on the board, create a little bit of momentum. You're still losing, I know. Go into the locker room, talk about some adjustments, and come out with some momentum.
First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. A first half that saw a little bit of everything there in College Park. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. And with that, let's send it back to the guys inside the shell.
He'll put toe to leather and get this second half started. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. First snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. Keeping it on the ground to open the second half. Now they've got breathing room, got 6 all the way out to the 20. Alabama with a multitude of options on second and short. To the air, it's Simpson. Here's a heat. Fires to the tight end. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down. Pass completion, move the sticks, and let's see if they try it again. Reads it, fires complete.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Makes the grab, it's Cuevas. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. They'll go with a direct snap. Looks like Alabama will pick up the first down. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. They'll give it to him again. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. The Crimson Tide can dig into that playbook here on second and short. They'll run the option. And not even a chance to pitch it as he is slammed down in the backfield. Ball is at the 41 as his defense tries to force the punt on third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. No more time to throw. Quarterback is sacked at the 35.
Exactly what this defense needs. Listen, they're at a deficit. They talked about the half. They need some energy. They need to force some turnovers, create some negative plays. What do? First drive, get a sack. Nice job by this defense.
Looks as if the Tide will punt it away. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Makes a nice grab at the 25. They're able to put a stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. They'll crank up this drive from the 30-yard line. Dropping back, it's Washington. Got a man, it's Webb.
Great job by the receiver catching that curl route. And did you see the way he came back to the football? That's a great lesson for a lot of young receivers out there. You create separation by coming back to the quarterback.
Floating away.
Most offensive coordinators want to be really aggressive on second and short. And I love the quarterback here. He drops back the pass thinking being aggressive. Nothing available. Scramble. Give me an easy first down.
Wants to throw on first down. Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete. Backed up now. Here's second and long. Sends it downfield. And they couldn't connect on the deep shot. Let's see if things get worse. There's a flag on the field. Which way is this going to go? Some hand fighting at the point of the catch will draw the penalty, but this one is going to go against the offense. Leaves it with the running back. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Guys, this offense is already reeling down multiple possessions. Really need to cash in on this drive. On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down. And the Terrapins will line up to punt it away. He'll try to really get into this one. Hooks it all the way in, and now turns his attention upfield. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. And he dropped it, just didn't look the thing all the way in. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Looking for a man, it's Simpson. Got it in the middle, it's Williams. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the 1st. Gives it on the option. Looks as if the Crimson Tide will have the 1st down. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Looking downfield on 1st down. Makes the catch along the sidelines and steps out of bounds. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. He'll pull it on the read. Makes his man miss. And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Crimson Tide needs to convert on 3rd and short. Quarterback on the keeper. Inside the 40. Oh, a lot of space. He's all the way down to the 3. An electric run has him set up.
And that's what makes this offense so dynamic. It's his running ability, and I love them going option here. He's hoping the defense is going to give him a look that forces him to keep the football. And how about his ability in the open field, generating a massive explosive play on that option run?
The explosive play set the table. Now they got to serve the feast. Trying to slam in. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage. They give him the rock again on 2nd and goal. Just hammer it with this running back again, and he noses his way into the end zone. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And he did get that extra point through the slippery surface, no problem. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Gentlemen, let's take a look at what's happening in this exciting college football game. Auburn is ahead early in Jordan Hare, but that's not exactly Bo Jackson out there running the ball. This game is a long way from being over. They're up by 11 over Ball State. We've got our eye on things here and everything else going on right now, and any updates, you'll see them here, guys.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Looking for a man. It's Washington. Fires to the wideout. Oh, goes right through his hands, and he will think about that one for a while. It'll be 3rd down. And now this offense will try to figure out a way to move the chains after that 2nd down incompletion. Oh, they're after him. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
And, man, this offense just searching for some way to climb back and get back into this game. They're down by 1,000, and it's not looking good. And you can't even protect your quarterback on third down. Like, everything going the other direction.
The Terrapins line up to punt it away. 3 and out and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. He'll field the punt and try to get some yardage. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Grabbed over the middle. It's Hale. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup. Now here on second down, see if they keep tossing it around. They'll give it to the back. Got the first down and still on his feet. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup. From the 30-yard line on first down. To the ground. He's got it again. Tough sledding there as he picks up 1 to the 29. Now on second down. And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. Just about ready to go in the fourth, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. It'll be second down as we open the final stanza. Caught in the backfield, it's Williams. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down. Alabama comes to the line on third and short. Motion from the wide receiver. Back to pass, it's Simpson. Sets up the screen. They'll finally put the brakes on him at the 3. A big throw, catch and run on that one. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Alabama rolling quickly downfield, set up with another first down. They'll try to run it in. Touchdown tie! And the pummeling has started.
Loving what I'm seeing from this offense this week. And talking to them, they felt like last week's win was a lot closer than what it should have been. They didn't play to their full potential, but they did that here in this game. When they're hitting on all cylinders, they are scary.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And he tacks on the extra point.
That makes the score now 27, Maryland 0.
So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Pocket breaking down. It's a running room. He's finally stopped, but a big play there with his feet as he moves those sticks.
You got to be impressed with the quarterback on that last play because he's already been sacked a ton of times in this game. He knows he does not have a lot of time to survey the field, get through his progressions.
Intercepted. Man, they just can't get anything going. Just a small return, but a big play as they have it now at the 45.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's past, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT, Nice job by this D.
So the first play of the drive, starting here from the 45. Oh, he'll keep it on the draw. Stopped in the backfield, and that'll be a loss of 2. After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. Back to pass, it's Simpson. They pick it off, and this defense, a much-needed play. Touchdown, Terrapins! What a play! Not only the interception, but a great return for the score.
And this defense has had a rough day, but how about this play? Breaking on the football, making the pick, taking it to the house, maybe build some momentum for some future games.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. Bangs it through for an extra point. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. Let's see what he can do with the return. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. Gets it out to the 20 after a pickup of 4. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. The pull and throw off the RPO. Gets it out to the 27-yard line, and they'll move the chains for a first down. They'll send the back in motion. Grabbed behind the line. It's Washington. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Rides the back and leaves it on the option. Nice move there. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few. Alabama needs just a few inches here on third down. They'll move the wide receiver. Quick pass on the fly motion. Stopped in the backfield, and this defense has forced him into fourth down. Alabama will bring the punt team on the field. This will be the 5th kick of the night. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. Decent field position to start this drive from their own 33. Looking downfield, it's Washington. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. After the incompletion, they go back up top. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Unleashes it on the run. And it's incomplete way downfield, and the defense rises to the occasion. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. They'll try the run. It's a seam wide open. The ball pops out. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
And when you're on defense and it's wet and it's rainy, you know exactly what time it is. That ball gets a little heavier. It gets a little slicker. You're trying to get to that thing. You know you get your hand on it. There's a good chance it's coming out. Nice job by the defense forcing it with the assist from the ref.
Let's see what they can get going on this drive as they snap it from the 7. Martin will throw it. Under fire. He's going to go down, and he's in his own end zone. It's going to be a safety.
Well, the defense could smell blood in the water in that situation, and a great job pursuing, getting to the football, showing you all of that athleticism they have, and they come away with the safety.
They'll get set for the free kick after the safety.
Set to advance on the football.
Finding an escape route.
The return brings it down to the 30.
Here comes that Alabama offense. That fumble in plus territory just ruined that last drive, David.
Yeah, and those are frustrating when you got the offense moving.
Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. Got the first down and more. They'll mark him down at the 40 after ripping off 10. Snagged in the middle, it's Williams. And just a short, safe pass play, they pick up a few. Line getting set on second down.
Brings up second down.
Looking to fire. Got a man, it's Williams. He stopped at the 45 after picking up 10 yards and the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. This quarterback part of their running game. How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple. The Crimson Tide just hoping at least to get some of the yardage back here on second down. Caught over the middle. It's Cuevas. And they're able to get him on the ground. From the 36, a third down, and you wonder if they're willing to take 2 plays to get the first. We've reached a 2-minute timeout. In all likelihood, they could just run the clock out. We'll see if they want to rub a little salt in the wound. On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. They'll pick up enough yardage for the first down. They've got it at the 30. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. They'll ride the hot hand. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Caught behind the line. It's Cuevas. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Third down coming.
It has been said that the obstacle is the way, and this obstacle is now back-to-back losses.
Back-to-back L's. It's not the end of the world, though. I still think there's time for this team to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to finish the season strong. It's not over yet. 2 bad weeks. Flush it down the toilet. Refocus the mechanism. We're ready to rock and roll next week.
It just needs to be about finding a way to win a game right now. In all likelihood, 99.9% chance the college football playoff now is not a possibility anymore. That's okay. Let's worry about winning a game. Let's go back. Let's watch the film. Let's get back to being who we are so we can get this ship right.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.